Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're going to be nicer to tech support after watching this video. Angry Karen challenges me. You're lying. My son would never do that. I got recommended here by a friend who thinks the world needs to hear my stories from when I worked as a laptop technician. I'm new to Reddit, so be patient with me. This story took place about a year into the job. I started working in the repair shop as counter staff, but got bumped to assistant manager and then technician. So I often found myself alternating roles whenever I was needed on the day. One summer day, I'm about to clock out and go on my lunch break when a customer comes in with a laptop. She seemed pretty pissed off. So I held back to help her out, as my work colleagues were all with other customers. The customer quickly turned into a Karen within minutes. Hi, how can I help you? I bought this stupid laptop a few days ago from here and it's already stopped working. It's my son's laptop, so I need it looked at immediately. The repair shop was pretty big, so we also did a lot of business selling second-hand phones, tablets, laptops, as well as a bunch of different accessories. Immediately, I recognized the laptop she's brought in, as I was the one who prepared it to be sold earlier that week. A very distinct bright blue HP. I can't remember what model it was, but I doubt it matters. Immediately, my gut instinct tells me this is a suspicious situation. So what kind of problems are you having with the machine? Well, my son only used it for a few days, and then it started slowing down, and now it doesn't work at all. That's no problem, I'll help you out of here at the counter and try and resolve the issue for you quickly. I opened the machine up at the counter, and the operating system is completely destroyed. Corrupted shortcuts on the desktop, the machine is crashing whenever I try to open File Explorer, Command Prompt, etc. My standard guess in this situation would be a hard drive failure, but I installed a brand new hard drive in the machine, so this situation screamed like Karen isn't telling me the whole story.
Why the f you lying?
I was on the job long enough to trust my instincts with customers, and seeing as I was the last person to touch the machine before her, I knew it was almost definitely one of two options. Either A, both the lab as well as me missed something, which is very unlikely, or B, the customer damaged the machine and is trying to play it off like it's our fault. I wasn't about to make any assumptions, but this customer had an attitude, a kind that's very distinct from the usual frustrated customer, an attitude you'd only get from customers who were ready to start a fight. I explained to Karen what I can see on her desktop, and that this kind of problem can only be resolved once the technician has taken a proper look. I explained our booking procedure, and that we'll take in the machine and test it, and then call her within 24 hours with an update on what we found. Unsurprisingly, she's huffing over having to leave the machine in the shop. When booking in a repair like this, we take a full report from the customer of what had occurred, in case we need to build a case for any reason, so I get to asking her some standard questions. So when did you start noticing these problems with the machine? Only this morning when I turned it on. It was fine last night. You mentioned your son uses the machine. Did he mention noticing anything wrong at any time over the past few days? The mentioning of her son set Karen off and she starts snapping in front of all the other customers. I know I've hit a nerve here and her son is involved in this story somehow. My son is none of your concern, you're dealing with me here. Now the aim of the game here with a wild Karen is to calm her quickly, as any provocation could set her off into a wild rampage. Using my amazing charm, I explained to Karen that I understand her frustration, but for me to properly assess the damages and help her, I need to know how the machine had been used. She calms down and starts complying. My son rarely used the machine. I only gave it to him for a few hours to play his games. Okay, can I ask what games those were? Only Minecraft and Roblox. He's too young to know how to do anything himself. Now I know this woman is either clueless or lying to my face, as I can clearly see the Steam launcher on the desktop, as well as a bunch of other scattered games and game folders, so I decide to test her story. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you just a few questions about what I can see here. Do you know what Steam is? No.
Why you always lying?
And have you ever heard of any of the following programs? War Thunder, Team Fortress 2, etc, etc? No, no, no.
Oh my god. Stop lying.
Okay, ma'am. If you'll give me 1 minute, I'd just like to take your hard drive into the back and run a quick scan to see what other data I can see. She gives permission, so I take the laptop in the back and plug the hard drive into her system and find exactly what I was expecting. The local disk has been completely destroyed, assumedly by her son. Half-installed game folders everywhere, files put out of x86 and dumped on the desktop, in the recycle bin. This kid has even pulled folders out of what I assume is Windows and done the same, thrown pieces of the operating system at random around the local disk. Now, I don't suspect she did any damage herself, but it's evident that someone deliberately fricked this laptop, likely her son. She clearly knows this and is trying to play the issue off like this damage was there from when we sold her the machine. I show the damage to the other technician who works with me, and he agrees with my assumption. Now comes the tricky part, confronting the beast. The two of us go out to Karen and explain what we have found. Okay, so I opened up your files in the back and I found the issue causing your problems. We pull up screenshots we made in the back and show them to Karen on our tablets in front of the store. We proceed to explain what she's looking at and that this damage was caused by someone moving files and possibly deleting portions of the operating system. Pointing out evidence that conflicted with Karen's story sent her into a fiery rage against me and the technician. Is there any chance that your son may have done this damage? Could you have left him alone with the machine at any point? How dare you call me a liar? My son would have never done this, and neither have I. You're clearly trying to push your own errors onto me, and I want a refund. Ma'am, I'm not calling anyone a liar. I can only make assessments based on the evidence that I have here. What I know is that the damage caused to your laptop was done by a person, and I know this damage was not present when the laptop was put up for sale earlier this week. We take screenshots and full reports of all devices before they're put on sale. Regardless of who caused the damage, this voids your warranty on the machine, and so you're not eligible for a refund. Give me the owner's number right now. I'm going to get you punished for your rudeness. Ma'am, I legally cannot give you the owner's private number. If you want, you can leave your own number and I'll have him call you the next time he's in the store. For now, all I can do is book in your machine and have the technician assess it for you. Then get me your manager. You're not getting out of talking to me like this. Ma'am, I am the manager on site right now. Again, I'm sorry for this inconvenience, but all I can do for you is book in your machine for the assessment and repair. Seeing that neither of us are budging to her rage screaming, Karen falters to the pressure. She shifts into a passive-aggressive mood and has me book in her laptop for repair, all while I maintain my standard happy composure to the customer. I hand her the repair docket and wish her a nice day. She storms out of the building. I wasted 30 minutes of my lunch break helping a Karen, but the salt was too much not to pass up on. This actually reminds me of a time when I got a notebook laptop. It was secondhand and I was really tired of using my phone for the internet, and back then tablets weren't really a thing at that point. So I bought a secondhand notebook laptop, and it was the slowest machine I had ever encountered in my entire life. I must have spent about 5 hours completely wiping the machine, checking the processes to see if there was something that was making it run so slowly. In the end, I was on a forum and the person suggested a command prompt that would clean the computer or something like that and promised to make it run faster. I was at the end of my rope and I didn't really think it through all that much, so I opened the command prompt, copy and pasted whatever this dude had typed, and hit enter. The notebook started doing something, and then it restarted. And then it brought up the system screen, like whenever you restart a computer and press F12. And I tried to start the computer normally until I figured out what I had actually done was erase the entire operating system. Yeah, so that was dumb. And then I went back to using my phone. Hello? Wrong number. I once worked as a programmer for a company that wrote banking software, and they wanted me to connect a telephone headset to the software suite for outgoing calls. It was actually pretty fun to write. They gave me a Plantronics headset and told me to plug the phone into a phone jack that was connected to an unused number. One day, I'm happily coding away and I hear a strange sound that I had never heard before. I looked around and found that the headset was ringing. I put it on and... Hello? The person on the other end had dialed the wrong number. From then on, the headset would ring once or twice a day and I'd happily answer it. Good afternoon, wrong number. People would thank me and hang up. One day, I got the call that I had been waiting for. Good afternoon, wrong number. How do you know I dialed the wrong number? This phone is connected to a line where we don't receive incoming calls and don't give the number out. That doesn't matter. You don't know what number I was trying to call, so maybe this is the number I was calling? Okay, what number were you trying to call? And he recites the number a few digits off. Sorry, wrong number. Click. Imagine getting that defensive that you could have possibly dialed the wrong number. I used to work in a place that was one number off of the doctor's office, and we would get people calling in being like, "Good morning, love. I need an appointment to see my doctor." And then in the majority of cases, we would tell them that it was the wrong number, and they would be like, "Oh, right, yeah, sorry about that. Thanks then, bye." Okay, so that's all for r/TalesFromTechSupport. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!